All right, well, Sean joins us now via Skype. Welcome to the show, Sean. It's great to have you.
Oh, so glad to be with you guys. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, well, first, let's go back a little bit. How did these Let Us Worship events even begin?
Well, they really started, I'm here in California, and as soon as, COVID happened, we had probably the most intense restrictions in America, not just for, businesses and schools, but for churches. And so, there was restrictions on people gathering to worship, which I've never heard of in America before, and I never thought would be possible here. I've traveled a lot around the world in many persecuted places. But when it happened here, and then on top of that, there was a crazy order by the governor here not to allow singing in church. And then something really flipped, a switch really flipped in me when that happened. And I'm like, we have to take a stand against this. We got to gather outside. Let's worship. We gathered on the Golden Gate Bridge, made a prophetic declaration with about 400 people there. Mobilized within 24 hours. And that's really where this whole thing was birthed.
Yeah. Well, you had a Riots to Revival concert in Portland, plus one that drew tens of thousands of people in Washington, D.C. I was present. For those who weren't there, tell people what happened at those events.
Yeah, I hesitate to use the word concert. A lot of people use that, and it just helps give them a frame. But for me, this is just a cry for revival.
Yeah.
We are in such a crisis right now in America. This has been a very intense year. Of course, we've seen, not just with, the racial tensions and the election and the pandemic, but there's been suicide has skyrocketed, drug and alcohol use has skyrocketed. People are just, and the churches are closed for the most part. And so for me, this was a response of God. We have to have revival and awakening. It's the only hope for these cities, especially places like Portland and Seattle that were just literally burning.
Yeah.
Revival's the only hope. So that was our heart, was to respond in that way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you've gotten a lot of negative feedback, not just from non-believers, but believers as well. And the Rolling Stone actually wrote an article about you, calling it Jesus Christ super spreader. What do you have to say to people who think you're not being wise with, hosting these large events during a pandemic?
Well, I feel like the Rolling Stone article is pretty prophetic. I kind of like that. At the time I was like, what? But I actually really prophetic, Jesus Christ super spreader. That's what we're all called to be, especially in this season. My response to people would be, we have not yet had one case of COVID tracked to any of our 50 gatherings. They've all happened outdoors.
Yeah.
People are socially distant. We provide masks at a lot of them want masks.
Yeah.
We're doing our part, and we're actually being way safer in my opinion.
Yeah. I wish we had more time with you, Sean. I highly recommend people go out and get his book, Brazen. I couldn't put it down. Thank you so much for being with us, Sean. Hey everyone, I'm Ashley Key. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can reach more people with encouraging content like you just watched, and so you never miss a beat. See you next time, and God bless.